Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom what the truth is. Where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. When them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yup. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's so hard to.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace, peace, peace. We got a lot to talk about today. It is going to be a good conversation. A good conversation. So I want to start off saying, did you guys see the subject, the title? Tim, are you with us physically?
He is mute. He's staying mute.
Okay.
We got Kendall. Of course, you
Good
can come up.
conversation. Kendall.
Oh, there's.
Hello.
So, do you know what the title is?
Freedom from self on sequence to truth. So it's the simplest form. So I'm just catching up on the information right now from my chaos today. So don't mind me. So it's one of those days. I will be back with you in 1 sec.
Okay. So Henry, the title of the show.
My name's Forrest Possum.
Forrest Possum. I'm not gonna remember that shit.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So the title of this show is called
Freedom from Self.
Freedom from Self. You stole both letters. Anyhow, what does that mean? Freedom from self. Right. I want to go over the description and I want to talk about the description. And there's many reasons why I want to talk about this description, because I want the description to lead the show, and because I really hit the description what we're talking about. So
and positivity.
So let me go to the description.
Let's pull it up.
In the description, I said, freedom from self on Unseen Twisted Truths. Freedom in itself, the simplest form, is the state of being free. That means being able to act, speak, or think as one wants without being controlled or limited by external forces or constraints.
You want me to read?
Yeah.
Let's go. Constraints. It encompasses the power to write or make choices and act upon them without unnecessary interference. So, with that being said, are you free from yourself? And then let's talk about it. Wow,
I want to hear all that.
Okay, well, let's talk about it on the People's Podcast with the ears that will listen and where your opinion matters. Join us tonight at 8, and we're about to have a good conversation. Peace and love.
And the reason why I wanted to read all that is because that's what I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about that we are the People's Podcast, and your opinion does matter. It really honestly does. And I want to touch base a little bit on freeing yourself from yourself, because if you come at an unhealed or a healing state where you're uncertain with yourself, everything that happens around you feels personal, feels like an attack. It feels like there's a target on you and everybody's saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. When yet nobody's saying that. But there's a lot of feelings. There's a lot of feelings when you're unhealed. And most of them have to do with inside yourself. I don't know if it's a trauma response because we're accustomed to growing through things. I don't know if it's I was there though. That's the only reason why I know what it looks like. What do you think of that?
In our journey, some of us, I think it's kind of hard to say healed. We're all kind of learning. We're taking falls.
Mm-hmm.
We're learning from those falls, and we're trying to grow from them. I think that's something important, is to focus on what we're learning from those falls. And you said freedom from self, which I think is kind of funny. I think I had to really get to know myself to be free. And myself was kind of really muddled and muddled up from kind of what society and other, just everything, all the BS we can go into it, wants you to behave and act like. And I don't know. It's not like I'm throwing tantrums. It's not what it means. It's just dare to be different. Maybe you face scrutiny. I don't know. This is a big topic, so
it's a huge topic, and I want to touch base on what happened at the last show. I interrupted two people because they were their opinions. They were in their opinions, and their opinions matter. They really do matter. I swear. When does one person's opinion matter over the next, though? When is there a healthy boundary of we both matter?
I'm glad that you wanted to touch on that.
Yeah.
I think it's important. I don't think anybody, there was a miscommunication that kind of ended up not getting cleared up. And I think a lot of it has to do with communication. It really does. And how things run. I've been saying that we've been trying different people running the show and trying a different structure with it every week. And every one of them has a merit to it, kind of a flow that everybody wants to. And I think when things flow well, like nature, like balance, like rivers and air and everything and electric currents, that it flows evenly. We kind of get dammed up sometimes by wanting to allow each other to speak and giving each other room to speak. And especially if something gets brought up and someone is very impassioned about it, let's not say just unhealed, just say something big on their mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to talk things over. And I think, that's what I wanted to say on that. I just appreciate structure.
Well, see, now this is how I use it for the prime example. I'm not saying somebody's better than somebody. I'm saying that somebody's healing, because every day somebody is trying to be better than they were the day before. That's everybody in life.
Mm-hmm.
So if two people aren't there yet, you got two people that drink, no one's going to be sober. You got two people that both have a problem saving money, nobody's going to save money. If you have two people doing the exact same thing in the behavior, two people unhealed, coming from personal opinions, coming from their trauma, their experience, coming from within them in a negative area, how can you turn that to a positive if neither of them want to go to a positive? Without a media, without somebody stepping in and saying, hold on, I don't want no one to get misconstrued, nothing to get misconstrued or anything, because that is not what somebody meant.
I once again do think that communication is really important in establishing that. And active listening, of course, being part of communication is really good. We got to make sure we hear each other, especially when it comes with hard topics. Like we were talking about. I'm not going to even bring it up, right?
Right, and I want the next topic to be the pause.
Yeah. The pause.
The power in the pause. There's so much power in pause. That's what we're going to talk about next. So I appreciate you mentioned that, because everybody needs let me get myself to my center. If you can't have that quick response you got to be able to have some form of control. You got to be able to free yourself from yourself.
Right.
You got to have that want too.
Just pretend everybody's cross-examining you like a lawyer.
Yeah.
I mean, That way you really start actively listening. I mean, I listen to trial lawyers talk all the time.
I love the respect that everybody has for each other, though.
Right, we do. We love everybody, and I don't think there's a wall of hatred produced by
never.
this.
And I love how everyone loves themselves, because if you didn't love yourself, you wouldn't have that boundary, that healthy boundary, that whatever. But you have to free yourself from yourself, because that was coming from a moment of hurt. That was coming from a negative. We didn't have to feed the negative. I'm all about the positive. That whole episode was all about reaching the negative and hearing the negative. We hadn't talked about the positive.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to touch base on.
We owe it to everybody to talk about positive.
Always.
So
always, because I too am healing, and I just want to let you know that it's hard to stay positive, especially if your tribe doesn't stay positive.
this is important. I was going to say, with that being said, we didn't really formulate a plan, sadly, before this. So it was going to be a play it by year one. That being said, I still want to, that's too many that being said. I want to exhibit some kind of structure with questions, and I think we should formulate some questions and move them around the room.
Yeah, I would still like to talk about what freedom means to somebody. What is freeing themselves from it? I mean, we want to still talk about the topic. Kendall said just a minute. Kendall, are you ready to talk about the title?
I believe so. I'll do the best I can.
Okay.
So, what is your main question for what you have in mind for today?
Oh, no, the title is called Freedom from Yourself. That's the title. Freedom from Yourself. Mental Health Matters, Freedom from Yourself. And then I wrote the description, what freedom meant.
What's that mean to you?
So what does the title mean?
It can mean a different variation for how you want to see yourself, or just letting go of situations and understanding different conspiracies for how you want to have conversations with different types of people and all types of situations we're all dealing with. And it's good to be open that way too. And it's okay to express yourself in different terms as well. So the way I can see it is it's okay to let yourself go on hard topics as well.
Okay. So that's what freedom means to you? For yourself, from yourself mean?
Freedom means letting go.
Letting go. And sometimes you have to let go of yourself, or not let go of yourself, but let go within self.
It's with everything, your whole aspect, your whole ordeal, your life, spirituality.
Like a fresh start.
Mm-hmm.
A breath of fresh air.
It's like paying attention to others too. Like our comment section with On Point. Thanks for jumping on.
Peace, family. That's what I'm writing you, but I'm high.
So
family, I want to Shane, what is freedom from yourself mean to you, if you want to respond? Kendall, I appreciate how you articulated that, and I also appreciate the fact that you spoke on starting over. Is it hard, do you think, to have new ways, create new ways, adapt to new ways? Starting over, is it hard?
It's always going to be hard. No matter how hard we try, we just want what's best for ourselves and for the situations we're facing.
Yeah.
You guys at home like change? You guys watching on TikTok? Change, yes, no? Somewhere in the middle?
Somewhere in the middle. It's, what do you think, Henry? Do you think that maybe the hardest part freeing ourselves from ourselves is because of change?
I'm such a bad person to talk to it on, because I feel like I tried to free myself, or I'm trying to free myself from a lot of the weird constraints of the world. And it's hard. And it's also rewarding. I love change now. As I get older and more things happen, I realized a lot of the things that I was sitting on sleeping on myself, like being stuck in certain areas and with people and situations. It was smothering me and crushing the pressure out of me. Under pressure, it was just crushing me. So I was really scared to leave. You know, we get trapped in relationships, and we get trapped in situations, and we get trapped in conversations, and we get trapped in jobs we don't like and stuff. And we just kind of, out of convenience, stay in those states and beings and things. And we don't realize until we leave it, until we throw it away and give it a little bit of time maybe to marinate and think about it and heal from the stress of it, that it was a right decision. So yeah, it feels good now. I really got scared to change until I was just by myself standing on a bridge somewhere playing guitar. I'm like, you know what? It's not all that bad. It's not bad.
I love that you said that, because I've noticed throughout my own experience, throughout time, that when something made you sit down and you had to be by yourself, that's when the most change was able to occur. But you had to be able to be by yourself. If you can't sit inside yourself, you're going to constantly feel with anxiety and whatnot, and that you're going to want to free yourself from yourself. I have issues at this time to do that sometimes. Sometimes it's hard for me to sit within myself, and I need moments of me in myself to meditate, to feel, to just get my center. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was running away from everybody today. I had to be alone all day.
I equally felt that. Kendall, do you ever feel like you have to be away from yourself or be in yourself so you can get away from yourself?
I'm pretty much like that every single day, just take a moment to myself for at least a good hour just to regroup. If I get overstimulated with situations, I'm like, okay, calm down. Take a mental break. Got this.
I feel that.
I feel more overstimulated at home than I do in social situations, like big events and stuff. Is that weird? Maybe it's weird.
Isn't that weird, TikTok?
Is it weird? I mean, I'm pretty weird. Sorry.
No, you're gonna free yourself from yourself.
I like
Anywho,
it.
I know. Me too. So hello, peace and love, not hello, because hell is not below. Peace and love. Grand acknowledge for you over there in Bangladesh.
From Bangladesh. I love that we got people all over the world.
I love that too. So yeah, when I said two people that don't know how to communicate, they're not going to be able to communicate. They're just not. So like, imagine if I constantly felt like I was in a battlefield. Constantly felt like I was in a battlefield. I felt like that before in life, and it wasn't just in situations. It was within my head. I swear, after I went through and grew through what I had to grow through within myself, I had to sit by myself, and I had to take myself and really, really reconstruct myself from bottom and remove so much stuff not for me. And I had so many nights where I was lonely. I had so many nights where I would cry. I had so many nights where I was scared of being by myself with me.
Are you like that now?
Oh, no. No. No.
Laughs.
And it was great, though, because I had to go sleep in the woods. I had to go take my hammock and just put it up and stay there overnight by myself.
I think it's good to struggle a little bit for a little bit.
I did it on purpose. I wasn't struggling.
Well, no, like rough it.
Yeah,
or,
I get that.
Not like struggle.
But generally, I really wasn't. I did it on the weekends for peace.
Yeah.
I had to go find my peace because I took care of my person. So I needed to do something on the weekends by myself. And instead, I was doing the whole, let me find someone to hang out with. And then I realized I didn't need somebody to hang out with. I loved me. I am what I need to hang out with. Why am I looking for somebody else to be around?
And we're talking about freedom from self.
Yes.
But that's the M. Night Shyamalan twist, is that we need ourselves.
But you have to get out of yourself to learn to love yourself. You have to remove all of the things that got you to where you are today that's not good. And be comfortable with being alone. Be comfortable with yourself. And once you can sit comfortably with yourself, you can sit in a room full of millions.
Oh yeah, people.
Yeah. But you got to be comfortable with sitting by yourself first.
Are y'all comfortable with yourselves? Like just being alone? Or do you have to have someone around you? Feel free to join the chat.
What do you think, Kendall? Are you comfortable with yourself?
I still think it's a process for how I'm learning how to deal with me on a daily basis because each day's different for me. So it's still a learning process.
I can receive that. I can receive that. What was your moment that you realized you had to change? That you needed to just start over from yourself?
Oh my goodness. I'd say a couple years ago. I was going into a really dark phase to the point I was I can't say certain words online, but I was at a certain dark phase to the point I wanted to end it all. And that's when I realized I needed change from me. Nothing was going to change it but me. So I had forced myself to get out of that area and just do better each day.
So I want to touch on the darkness for a second, just so people can feel that feeling of what it felt like and how rewarding it felt and how hard it was to come to the positive. You know what I'm saying? In that dark moment, did you feel like really justification for wanting to do it? And it was just it was at that moment, that was it for you.
I still get into those areas where I just want to give up, but I know that's not me. That's not my character. And I've gotten to certain points in my life where, like, you got to push through or there's nothing left. So every day I'm trying to push through and just overcome such challenges, especially with my high anxiety or whatever it is I'm dealing with. I just had to realize for myself, like, this is not you. You got to do better.
So with that, how easy? I mean, it was hard to break that habit, huh? Of that darkness. It was hard, wasn't it?
It's taken a few years, but I'm doing a lot better.
Yeah, no, of course. But
Yeah.
you've learned to give yourself grace, haven't you?
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm proud of you for that one because that sounds so familiar. I know that feeling all too well. I know that feeling. But that's that want. That's that wanting to heal. Because when you feel the negative, you don't invite it in. You turn it. You try your hardest to turn it because you don't like how that negative feels so warm and inviting and just dark and heavy and gray. It's a lower chakra red color for a reason. And when you find in that strength to move it away, everything feels so light and so free. That self-control over that demon from within is so rewarding to me. Do you agree, Kendall?
Most definitely. It's been extremely hard, but each day I'm glad I'm alive today, you know? So
Yeah.
It counts. It definitely counts.
Yeah, it counts. What do you think?
So there was a time when I was like that, when I wanted to hit game over, and it was really just, I didn't love myself. I didn't care about myself or others. I thought I was just going to die from addiction, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a few things about it, and I failed. And that sucked. So now I got 7 years sober, and people ask me what sobriety's like, and I actually tell them it's kind of hard. It's lovely, but it's not hard. Not in the fact that I'm going to relapse hard. It's hard in the fact that I kind of look at the world as completely crazy, and the people living in it and doing the things and putting up with the things that they're doing is completely crazy. I read this little word today that someone put. It was like hypersanity, and how it makes you look insane.
I love that.
To be like, you guys believe what you're seeing right now? It's complete insanity. Like, how are we allowing this to happen? And that thought actually propels me into darkness all the time now. It really bothers me. There was a point in time where I could just work through it or look away, but it gets really hard to look away. And the longer I sit here on social media trying to do a podcast to try and help people about it, the worse it gets, the more ugly I see society is through the view of social media. You know, it's not the news driving everybody crazy anymore. It's social media. It's your neighbors and scam artists absolutely just raking each other over the coals with no eye-to-eye contact or body language anymore. So I would say I feel more dark now than I did before because it's in a realistic fashion. And I absolutely love myself. I'm finally happy with everything in the mirror and in life and how I feel. And
It's more of a dark outward though, instead of within.
yeah. It's like feeling great, but up to my knees and up to my tits and
Others, people's energy.
and horrible stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace and love. He agrees. DJ Onyx.
Oh, DJ Onyx, what's happening, man? Thanks. I'm sad that you agree.
But I asked this question too. So I asked him what this was. I asked him what his change, what his moment was.
God.
So I can see both sides because I feel both sides. When I first was in the state where Henry, where you were, I'm trying to remember the possum, cucumber or something. Pineapple.
Oh no, I've long
okay.
It's forest possum.
Forest possum. See, I'm gone.
You're
But
universe badger.
I am.
And Double A said we can't smoke on the live. We smoked all day on the radio show where it's about smoking. What if it's tobacco? I don't know.
Who said that? Double A.
Double A. Either way, he's trying to help. Big Double A is trying.
Oh.
Big Double A.
Big Double A. Thanks.
Hell of a useful battery.
What did he say?
Oh wow. He said
That was from.
that was from a bit ago.
Oh, he agreed from a bit ago, not recently. He agreed about the self-love and freeing yourself from yourself.
That's positive.
Yes.
I actually don't want to be negative.
No, and the only what I was gonna say to you is when I first felt that way about you, when you felt like that, that was after I just did a whole 360 and I was like still like doubting myself. I learned it's doubt too. And I spoke to my son earlier today, and when you're unsure of yourself, it brings on anxiety. It brings on depression. It brings on a lot of things. And it's not just doubt of self, it's doubt of others. Now, why do you think there's doubt in other people? Go ahead.
What, from an internalized perspective?
Yeah.
Like, why do we doubt others?
From within you, yeah.
There's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons for that. I try not to doubt people. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt.
But why do we doubt people?
And why do we?
Where's that coming from?
I don't know. Fear.
Fear. Kendall, why do we doubt people?
I was going to say fear and distrust. That's about it.
And now my opinion is why we doubt people is because we have doubt within ourselves. We don't think that we just don't think that what we're doing is right because we've been doing wrong for ourselves for so long. So we still question we still have uncertainty with our own actions. That's why we look at others for gratification. That's why we look for others for boosting our ego, reassurance, is because we doubt ourselves. When we look outside for some form of healing or some form of watering ourselves, like hydrating ourselves and our spirit and our soul, when we look for others for that, that means we can't give it to ourselves from within. And we shouldn't look for, like others, for things that we can give ourselves properly, unless it's moments where we just didn't give ourselves grace, because we're not going to get it completely. We're going to have moments of stumbling. But 75% of the moments we're going forward. 75% of the moments we are trusting ourselves. So never let that 1 or 2 moments get the best of you. That's my opinion. I think it's from us not believing in ourselves. I think it's because we still are uncertain of ourselves. Because I promise you, I got me. And I don't need nobody else. They're all wants. And that's how I feel about helping people, loving people, having them in my life on the same frequency with me, everything. Because the most important thing to me in this world is my peace. Because I love myself. Can you relate to that feeling, Henry?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you walk around with a head full of self-doubt, people are going to really pick up on that. And then you're going to not expect people to want to do. So doubt does come from itself. Doubting others comes from an unhealed place, if you want to keep it in line with the podcast. Once again, I think healing's the term. Healing.
Yeah, right. And I don't mean it for that aspect. I just mean it for the aspect of people can relate to it. Because it's not even that. It's trauma versus untrauma, or trauma and separation of trauma. Maybe. I don't know. It's called damage control. Right? Doing damage control because we allowed it. For the most part.
I always like damage control. I don't like damage control. I like
not having to worry about shit. I wanna open my eyes and be like, thank you, I get another day to not be here. To try to not be here the right way. Not man, what are you doing? Why are you breathing? Why are you doing something I don't think you should be doing? Because that's something within self. When it comes to a think of a negative that you think somebody else should be saying what you think they should be saying, thinking what you think they should be thinking.
What should you be doing?
Whatever the hell you want to, you just opened your eyes. Shoot, I'm saying. Peace and love. Kendall, where do you think that comes from?
Something tells me self-determination.
Proper love for self.
Most definitely. Yeah.
I love self-determination. That's sweet. How do you get self-determination? Especially when you just learn how to love yourself.
Oh, yeah. It's the willingness and it's the wanting, doing better for you.
Where does complaining come from? Male, female? No matter, it doesn't have, complaining has no date, no age, no sex, no race, no nothing. It is something that it happens. Where do you think that comes from, Henry?
Neurons in your brain.
What ones?
We could go into that. What do you mean, where does complaining come from? When we see distaste with something, we would like to change that. It's the beauty of being human, is we just can't let everything bounce off of us, can we? We want to alter and change things because we are an artistic species.
Yeah, we want control. Emulate, power, control.
Some folks even want to play God.
Some people are narcissists. I'm just saying, if you want to label. If you don't want to label, some people really don't realize that it all starts with you. They honestly forget, and they actually feed into a lie that's been told. That's been told to yourself. That you believed at one time was a version of you. And you still believe that, even though that is not you. It's familiar. It's familiar, and it's not comforting, and it's not pretty. Complaining doesn't come from anywhere positive. You speak positive to the world, and positive things happen because it's frequency. What do you think the highest currency is instead of authenticity not in hertz, just for frequencies? Henry, what do you think it is?
Lead
Mm.
and brass.
Love.
Oh,
Love is a high
I
frequency.
forgot about love. Oops. Yeah, love. Love always wins.
Laughing's right next to love, like next to let him whatnot, though, I swear, because I love someone that can dance and I love someone that's funny. I was in a terrible relationship for 9 years. Well, sure was he funny.
Laughter is going to save this world. If we can find a way to start infecting more people with laughter, I think it's going to be a great way to save our future.
What do you think, Kendall?
Well, my answer was going to be completely opposite. I was going to say a cup of coffee and a whole lot of love.
You say cut the coffee?
A cup of
Yes.
coffee.
Yes, I did.
That's too.
I was going to say I'm signing off right now, but no.
He ain't cut no coffee.
Cut no coffee. Actually, I've been drinking mushroom coffee with Miss Kimberly, and it's pretty dope. I like it.
It's the love.
It kind of doesn't make me feel as I can drink 8 cups easier, right?
Yeah. That's a mental thought.
I'm unhealed. Caffeine is the most widely abused drug, or sugar. It's one of those bad boys. No, both of them.
I think,
I
though,
like it, Kendall.
where's the worst place to be if you're not in a happy place? Where's the most difficult place to be? The most uneasiest place to be when you're not in a happy place?
On podcast, no. Honestly, though, talking to people, having to talk to people. And that's usually what you need to do, is the double-edged sword. But
Proper communication would help. But if I believe it's something different. I'm so high. What did I say?
I don't know. I had to put the pipe down. I was inviting you to Middle Earth.
I don't mean high that way. I mean
know.
within energy. I've been on high frequency. I've been having a frequency headache all day.
Could be pollen.
Could be pollen. I don't remember what I said.
Oh, dear. Sometimes it happens. It's complete bedlam now in the studio.
God, no. Where's the darkest place that you have ever been within, like, the most uncomfortable place to be in time?
And then something positive about it that can come from it.
I would say depression at this point. It's self-reflection with depression. And then coming out of it, it's uplifting yourself to wanting to just get out of that area constantly.
Yeah. Complaining comes from that depression, don't you think?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Complaining is necessary.
No, I'm not saying it's not. There's a form that is proper. There's a proper way to be able to have someone hear your side. It's not complaining.
It's a grievance.
Complaining is called is a negative term. I want to say it's a negative term. Maybe that's a stigma on the word. I don't even know what the word really means. It could be a stigma for the word. But to me, when someone says all you do is complain, there you go complaining again. Why are you always complaining? To me, it feels that way. I don't even know what the word derives from.
Complaint. Well, you know, I'm going to look it up. I'm not going to look up some Latin derivative for being upset and pissed off about something. I'll tell you this, though. You can look it up, because that's fun to look things up. But
there's a difference, though, than voicing your opinion on a matter compared to
complaint. Complaint kind of puts, like, there's a emphasis of, you got complaint, you got whining. These words have negative connotations.
Yeah.
When I said grievance, is like, I have a grievance with you. That doesn't sound like complaint.
No.
But I guess if you have a grievance and you're coming at it from, watch this, an unhealed place,
Yes.
it's gonna sound like complaining. I'm gonna tie this back in every time, and then I'm gonna talk about nonsense.
No, but it's the truth though. I think for me, the worst place to be and the darkest place to be is in that negative place, in that complaining place. When you have that want to get out of yourself and you're able to take yourself out of that is so free and so light. I'm telling you, I have a headache today because of my frequency's been so because I've been such a good mood. And it could be pollen.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I feel heavy and I feel really high and I hadn't smoked.
She hasn't, I promise. I was here.
I had 2 cups of coffee.
2 cups of coffee. I want to read off DJ Onyx. He says, for me, I'm going to have to say that in the depths of my depression, it was worse than my addiction and empowering. I wanted to, I hope things are going well with your addiction. I don't want to put unnecessary things. I hope you are doing well.
No, and not only that, like, I love that you said that though, because addiction is giving something control over you. You know what I'm saying? When you have an addiction to anything, it's giving that the control over you to rent free inside of your head. Honestly, it's giving you that power. It's giving power to somebody else. We have to both switch slides. That's so funny.
I know. Wow.
My foot was falling asleep.
We're sharing an ottoman today.
My foot was falling asleep.
Yep.
But anywho, it's from that dark place within yourself. I love that you said that because I am an addict. You are an addict.
I've been known to fuck my whole life up.
And now we are in the advocate aspect of helping you, of giving you a place to be heard without judgment. And we appreciate you coming on and tuning in. And how does it feel when you change that, when you have that power to get out of that?
He also said it led to I wanted to say Kendall said I got called a bitch for complaints. It's okay, Kendall. You're immune. It led to my addiction, he said, though. So depression led to your addiction. I believe that.
It did. I believe that too.
We don't just start off addicted. We got to start somewhere at some point from that.
And that's from I agree completely so much. That's from any kind of addiction, though. I am a sex addict. And that's the only time I felt love, pleasure, and wanted and needed by anybody because I wasn't valued. So you're so true. It's so true. It comes from not properly loving yourself. And that's from food. We're gonna talk about this on a different show, but we're gonna talk about how food is very addicting and how we do both sides, of it. It like I know what it is like to be bulimic and anorexic, and I have a love-hate relationship with it. But it came from an unhealed place, It came from a dark place that addiction did. It was to feed something within myself.
I have so much to say on that too.
SGF Graham, peace and love.
Oh, before we do that, I want to say one thing.
Can y'all hear me?
What's up,
1 second.
SGF? Thank you all for tuning in here. We got people saying it's empowering. We have people come on the podcast all the time, and they appreciate having a mental health podcast to talk about, bounce ideas off, talk about their feelings and stuff. And I hate the fact that I got to jump in and say guerrilla bullshit and people fighting stuff and politics. I don't want to do any of that to get viewers and stuff. I'm glad to see y'all here, and we appreciate it. And everybody who comes to the podcast to get their ears listened to.
Listen to.
We appreciate it.
I love that. Get your ears listened to.
Yes. I can't believe I said that. SGF Graham.
SGF Graham. So listen, what does the title mean to you? Freedom from yourself.
Freedom from myself.
Yes.
I don't know.
Do you know what freedom means?
Of course, I know what freedom means, but I don't know what freedom from yourself. What is
Oh
the
no,
condition of yourself?
I
Or from
wasn't meaning.
myself?
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean you. Do you know what it means? Like I meant the definition. What it means.
Talking about the act of being free. Talking about freedom.
Yes, the act of being free,
Yeah,
to
but
release yourself from yourself, to remove yourself from the negative energy, to have that control over self, that freedom from self, because you're self-destructing yourself. That darkness, being able to be within your mind and not feeling like you are going insane because you're in your head. Like you're able to sit with self, that freedom.
so I would have to address it as freedom within self because I can, in my perception, I don't think I can ever be free from myself. I would never want to be free from myself.
And I
Um,
appreciate that you mean it that way. And what we were touching base on, taking negatives and turning them into positive, and realizing what we're doing to ourselves when we're coming from a dark negative place. So I love that you said that, because that's what we were talking about.
oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah, you
yeah.
keep going, because that's exactly what we're talking about.
Freedom within to where you can acknowledge your own wrong. Freedom from within to where you can you can listen, accept, and understand that you're not perfect, or nobody understands you to understand that you are perfect. However you want to look at it. Um, Life becomes beautiful because it becomes not stress free. Really, you got your own personal doubts that you have in life, but when it comes with dealing with the rest of the world, at least for me, once I really found freedom within, the 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 judgment the judgment um lessened severely to where I would like to say that I don't have no judgment except on, logical things, or, safety or whatever. But once that freedom within, life has just been life.
So, and the reason why I said freedom from yourself is because sometimes, not to take yourself from yourself, but sometimes you got to allow yourself to start over. You got to allow yourself to be able to hear a conversation and not feel like it's about you or take it personal. You got to be able to allow yourself to be around others. You got to stop putting yourself into a spot where you feel like you want to erase the game and start over. Two people that are coming from, and I said unhealed, and we're trying not to say that word, but if two people are coming from the same mindset, I got him. Gucci. If two people are coming from the same mindset and it's in a negative manner, and it's coming from a place of trauma, or old belief systems, or coming from a place of um, misinformation, and they believed in it so much that it became their truth. It's like that when two people are in a standstill of like a pecking order, and they're coming from a dark negative place, they're not able to solve something. Like if I'm broke and you're broke, there's no need. And then I don't mean broke, but you're not good at saving money. I'm not good at saving money. How are we going to be able to save money? You got somebody around you. You can't.
Sometimes you have to let that person spend their money before they can understand what you're saying. And what I mean by that is that, um, even though that may have been the case, um, you sh- they should have been allowed to speak it all the way out. Because the reason that I say that is because now it was an automatic defeat for both of them.
I feel you. I see both sides. And when it
So,
comes from a place of negative, I didn't know where it was going. And I
but
didn't
I
and I didn't
mean,
know when to respect nobody.
that's what we the twisted unseen. They got to work through that. We here, wherever it's the twist. It's gonna get twisted sometimes or whatever. That was a twisted moment, and we're not trying to go viral on nobody. They decided to bring that up or whatever,
Twist.
and they had to hash it out. whatever, and it wasn't no, I didn't think it was gonna get um ugly. I just saw two people that was cutting each other off and wouldn't allow the other to talk, but I didn't think it was gonna get verbal ugly at all. I didn't.
But
Um
some form of control, some form of something, because as a podcast, when the viewers are just listening, they can't hear that. They can't see that part of it. It's sometimes if they're at work and stuff, it becomes staticky or just it's not listenable. Some
no,
people like that,
uh,
some don't. So
no, it's not about liking it or necessarily. It is controlling it, but not controlling. Me and you talked about that yesterday.
no, I did. Nope, I
But
did.
like the next time it could be one day where Henry decide not to feel or agree with what I say, and we decide to hash it out. Just mute one or the other so we can hash it out versus
There you
killing
go. That's a
it.
form of control.
Kill
I
it.
feel that.
Well, in that case, I've disagreed with everything you've said since the beginning, SGF. Let's go. No, I knew you were going to call the title a non sequitur, though, because you're famous for that, and I appreciate it.
But at the end of the day, though, what I was meaning, I was gonna do something long and extravagant, but at the end of the day, it's all about what we do to ourselves, where we allow ourselves to sit within ourselves. We allowed that, we built that, and if you want to free yourself and have that freedom, what freedom means, somebody has to listen, because everybody's opinion matters. Nobody's opinion matters over the next. That you feel that you have to get passionate, where you exude your volume and your tone, to have control and come from a healthy place with respect for self and others, is because we're not at your grandma's thing. We're trying to help people. You got to be able to listen. You can't feel like you're being attacked. And that's what it was. It was two people feel like they're being attacked about
But I remember we the twisted
lies.
Hashing it out, verbal fight club. It's not a bad thing. They got support. If that happens again, we just
with the twisted unseen or whatever, we want the twisted unseen to be seen, and a lot of times or whatever, they gotta exert that energy before they can even listen. Or anyway, even me sometimes or whatever, I know myself. I go out there and do a whole bunch of push-ups until I'm laying flat on my face, and then do something else or whatever, and then I'm ready to listen. I done exerted out everything that that can have me like, man, shut up. Anything, all that energy is gone or whatever. I can listen now or whatever. Like, but this the twisted unseen, and sometimes it's gonna get a little twisted. And I think is to allow them to be twisted, because our main thing is most people probably did shut us up. Like whatever we was talking about, like stop that. Even if they felt like they was protecting us, we was probably like, I know I have a couple of times I done been there or whatever, talking, and the person cut me up, like jumped to something else, and I'm looking like, do they want me to spaz out? Oh my God. Oh, what's gonna happen right now? Like I've been in that energy or whatever where it was so hard to just not react. Like that they just cut me off like this wasn't something that was passionate to me, and you cut it off like whatever. And like
they're
even
just
though they might have been just trying to save the day, they like, he finna kill the mood. Everybody finna be upset. Just cut them off.
So
No,
how can I explain the fact of that I didn't have a horse in the race? I thought the race was a lie. So I don't have a horse in the race. And none of it affected me whatsoever. It wasn't because of what they were talking about. It was because of, this is my baby and I take pride in it, and I really want it to be positive. I want to be able to help people. And I don't want to talk about things that are irrelevant at this present moment if it ain't healing you. But I get what you're saying, because they needed to, and that probably would have been the breakthrough that they realized that I gotta learn from this moment. I didn't know though, and I take pride. And I was telling Henry just earlier that I've had moments with this show where it's just me by myself, and I grew it to be where it is today. Nobody watched it. Nobody tuned in. I was by myself on the panel many a times. I got the name to be Googled, and you can search 5 to 6 pages, and we get put on events, gave quotes away. I care about the brand. Not only do I care about the name and the brand, I care about the image because I care about the people. I'm not going to say we are the people's podcast if we don't respect ourselves or each other. And that's where I was looking at it at, because this is my baby at the end of the day. Henry and I, this is our show. And we love every single person that comes on, and we want to respect everybody that treats it like that. But you don't go in your grandma's house and get loud in her kitchen. Them kidney beans ain't nice to kneel on. And I'm telling you, I learned. I learned.
I don't know. Sometimes I just want to be really feminine, Alex Jones on the show. Like, God damn it! Just blow up. No,
I ain't mad by it though.
What's it? I'm gonna put it this way: Grandma know how grandbaby is. Now you better not get loud in front of Grandma.
We got Kendall Cobb said, that's my part where I'll just be the referee, nod, agree, take notes, hug each other. My grandmas are dead though. Kendall, my grandmas are dead too.
Mine are too, Kendall, but they weren't always. At one time, I'm telling you, I had some great ones, and them great ones are old school, tough love. Don't touch the refrigerator. Don't speak when adults are talking. What you doing in this room?
Mine was straight from Czechoslovakia. She had an M1 Grand in her closet.
Never spoke that great of English, and it was gibberish stuff from over in Ireland, and we had to kneel on kidney beans.
Probably Gaelic.
We had to kneel on kidney beans because I just didn't listen. I was always touching stuff, wanting to know about stuff, asking for stuff.
My grandma was a tooth fairy. That's really important. That was my first monetary transaction, and I wish things were still simple like that. Dang. Grandma's.
Oh yeah, hers was broken. It was Grandma Demon. It was broken.
Mine refused to speak English.
It was broken English. But SGF Graham.
Oh, I'm doing
it. My grandma's was the truth. In our community, it's usually the parents that are hell, and then when they become grandparents, they do all the spoiling they wanted to do to their kids.
I told my grandson, I gave him chocolate for breakfast, and I told him, and this is probably why his mom blocked me. I'm going to let you know right now. I told him, I said, who's going to tell me not to? I'll spank your mom too. Like, for real. Because she's under my son's age, and I will treat her like a child if she wants to act like one. And I don't mean it in disrespectful ways, but he would, if I tell him no, he'd be like, I'm telling my mom. Well, I'll spank your mom too. I mean, just at the end of the day, let you know, I am the smartest person you know in this whole world.
I have some grandma stories, Marty.
That's what I tell my grandson.
I was saved.
My mama would have dared. No, I ain't gonna even say that. I ain't gonna even lie on the podcast. My mama dared. She dared to think that she was gonna talk like that, and didn't hear from me from 7 Thanksgivings and 6 Christmases. I didn't give a rat's ass.
It wasn't going against what they said.
You just grandma.
It wasn't going against what they said. It wasn't doing what I said. It wasn't going against what they said. It was in my house and me telling him what to do. And he said, no, I don't want to. I'm going to tell my mom. I said, I'm going to spank your mom too then. You're in my house. You're in my house. You do what I say.
I dare my mama. I'm going to go on. I wouldn't say that to another adult because I would expect them to feel a way about. I would never. Even if I would say, well, until you move with your mama, then you can do what she say or whatever. I probably would have said something like that, but I wouldn't have said that up to the spank. Like they said, I'm gonna tell their daddy, I'll beat them up too.
No,
so I'm asking for some shit to happen.
It's all good though. Because at the end of the day, there's no trauma in that whatsoever. I've done way worse with her as a grandma. I promise you.
Grandmas are. Just Jeff's grams, right? They are the most powerful entities in the hood. And I understand this. I was going to a music concert at Harpo's in Detroit, and my buddy and his girlfriend, and we went through the green light, and we got tagged by a minivan, some dude in a minivan, and boy, he wasn't happy about it, and his boys were not happy about it either. And it was getting dark, and they were circling, and I'm not shitting. It was a fucking scary situation. So the cops were maybe on the way, and we were saved by a brigade of church ladies. The largest ringleader we were just calling her Big Red because she had this giant red suit on. It was amazing. And they actually came out into the street and like fended off these assholes. Well, the cops got there, and we had like 2 ounces of dope, chronic, and a bag of rooms. So we were sitting ducks, but we got plucked out of there. And the sister came and got our stuff out of there. Our buddy's sister who lived in the area, but it was those church ladies, those grandmas from the hood that really saved the day for us. And I'll never forget them. It's amazing.
No, and I'm that's how I am as a grandma. I'm telling you, I don't care what. I don't. As your grandma, I respect you, and if your mama there, there's a difference. I'm a different kind of person than your mama. I like. My grandkids are my heart. It's a grandson on my arm, and I'm getting my viejo on my arm. Like, that was the best gift ever was given to me, was having my grandchildren. And I take them at a month at a time. I'll raise them. They won't ever go and see their parents. They don't even want to go see their parents because they're with me. They'll cry and go crazy to talk to me and be with me. Grandson used to come on this show all the time. Mm. He was one of our podcast members. But, like, my grandchildren are my legacy. And when my grandson was younger, he would tell his mom, no, that's my Gma, because she would say that, your grandma Kim and stuff like that. And he'd be like, no, that's my Gma. Because I'm a gangster. That's why. I'm just letting you know. Yeah, I'll take somebody out. I'm the sweetest, nicest. You push me to the limit, I probably will snap, because I took a long time to find my inner peace, and it took a long time to become who I am and love who I am, and it took a long time for me to love myself correctly, that I treat people like I want to be treated. And if they treat me any way they want to, after a while, I'll get tired, and I may meet you there. I don't want to anymore. I want to have that self-control where I can control myself at all times. I want to have that.
I got some real talk on that, though. But having that self-control, it's still on grandma, but as a grandma, I'm really curious, because when I grew up, the grandparents were the glue to the family. All the events happened at the grandparents' house and everything. Is it still like that these days, especially if you're a young person or whatever watching? Like, is the grandparents still the foundation of the family? Or what is, it wasn't
my,
I don't know what
it wasn't my life. It was mine.
I can't even conceive of being young in this generation. It's just wild.
What about your grandma? Was the grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any anymore. All my grandparents, they made their way, but my mama and them grandparents now, so yeah, they all be over
there. Okay. That's real time.
Kendall? Was when your grandparents were around? Mine aren't around no more either. I'm 50. Come on now. Mine aren't. My parents are, but not my grandparents. They're 70s.
Oh yeah, my grandparents were very very strict in my family, and they always held things together, and they didn't take any bull from anything, because every time we try to do something, we get punished, but for the good punishments though, so we can learn. So yeah, they were the glue in the family.
That's me.
The good punishments.
That's me. So I said I'd spank her too. Doesn't mean she's still a kid to me. What, I wouldn't. No, my grandson's mother. Yeah. I told my son the same thing, though. Let me tell you, but I don't go against when my son tells his son to do something. That's not mine. But when I tell my grandson to do something and he doesn't listen, my son will take him and be like, "I'm staying out of this. If your grandma takes you out, dude, that's on you. You shouldn't have done that to her." So I mean, that's how it is. That had nothing to do with me. It's unhealed or it's trauma. The reason why I'm Black, it's because of self-trauma within self. But I see what you're saying about the freedom within, but I really want to talk about how you can get that negative and change it to a positive. What was your dark spot and how did you change it positive and how hard was it, SGF Graham?
It all came from within. I don't have no opinion for the out
No,
of
but
myself.
how hard was it?
Took some years, just mainly I had to reshape what I was around. I had to get used to not being around like that. I had to get used to the people that I was now finding myself around. They don't think or operate like the people I used to, because I used to put people in the same thinking mind space. Like, even though I know the environment was different, nah, you trying to play me like this, you trying to do this, you trying to do that, y'all gonna make me do this. And I had to, well, y'all ain't even built like that. Why am I even thinking that y'all thinking like that? I had to work on things like that, let go of old mind frames, or change mind frames, I should say. It took more than a couple of years, but I can't put a number on it.
Good answer.
No, that's agreed. And you weren't even on at the beginning, and that's what I said, and that's what Kendall said too. So that's how it is. It's exactly like that for people. Learning to love myself was the weirdest and scariest and the hardest thing. I said that over and I've said that before, and I'll probably take that one and stand on the hill when I say it again. Because at the end of the day, it's so rewarding to finally say that I love me. I love my heart is huge. I love that if I will eat you and raise your youth as my own, promise you.
It's hardcore.
But I'm holding my peace. And it took me a long time to have my peace. And my peace is important to me. And it's free and light and love. I will kill you with love. I will love you to death. I will love you so much that you will not know. You can't have a discussion with me, a conversation with me, and it turns negative. I will love you. I will love you. I'm telling you, that's my weapon. But don't test me because I've seen snapped and I know where it comes from. And I'm giving myself grace because every day I have a control. I will disappear though. I will take the scissors and cut that string off, and you will no longer be anything to me ever again. Trust and believe. My peace is so important to me. I won't have no regrets, no remorse. I will never know you. Can you receive that, SGF Graham?
Yeah, I cut my best mentor off, probably the best mentor I ever have, just because he said something out of pocket to me. And he probably came from a good space, but you knew who you was dealing with. You know you was dealing with a warrior. You told me you chose me because you knew I was a warrior. Watch how you talking to me.
Mm.
And he ain't take that serious, and I ain't thought about his ass until you just said something about this. And I ain't trying to be funny or whatever. He a good man, but shit, it is what it is. Like,
Do you think you were coming from from a trauma place when you did
hell
that?
no, I was laughing. I was laughing. I was laughing and went to doing something else positive, like because when it happened, I was already in my. Oh, bro, you can't shake my spirit. It was one of them moments where
Oh, okay.
people
There
don't
was signs.
know that they don't know that they think they're giving you the best advice, but they really selling you a lot of doubt. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to shut them up, like, hey, I hear you coming from a good heart. I get what you about to say. Don't even say that. Don't even put that out there. He kept going, and he felt disrespected. These elders be killing me because they forget that I'm grown or whatever,
Uh-huh.
whatever. And he started talking like he was sonning me or something. Bro, I know just as much as you now. Where I only call you my mentor out of respect,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, whatever. And so I had to remind him, and he felt the way about it. He called himself uh blocking me on Facebook after he said some words, blocked me on Facebook like a little kid. So I went to IG like, did you forget we friends on IG? And I said everything I had to say. And I waited for him to block me on there so I know that he read what I had to say. I could care less how he felt about it. And I don't mean that in a harsh way. or nothing else about it or whatever, you know. But at the end of the day, I have my own path. I can't be worried about how another MF will feel about something that's going on, or when I tell you that what I'm doing, this isn't just me. This is the all in all's divine design. This the universe design, and you still gonna doubt it. All right, conversation over. We don't have nothing to talk to. Obviously, you ain't in the design no more. Whatever, you know.
I feel
Sorry,
that.
man.
Is it
I
like the
think
phone?
I think not having my kids in my life like I want to make it hard for me to not be able to cut off an adult. Like who are you? You know, I didn't have my kids in my life like I wanted to. I could cut you off.
Is
You
it like
never
that phone call though? That
you said
feeling,
what?
that feeling on that phone call, that you could feel that you weren't going to allow yourself to get to that spot of negativeness,
I
and
don't
no
know
one's
the
going to try to commit you into that. That phone call, you answered it, and you wish you didn't answer it.
oh, yeah. I'm right there with everything now. Talking
Is
about
it
when I
that
said,
feeling?
nah,
Yeah.
I felt free as hell. Or whatever. I hate to say it or whatever. Like there was no regret, no nothing, no thought about it. When I said what I said, I chuckled a little bit, asked him who, said to the universe, who the hell he think he talking to, and
Yeah.
never thought about it ever again. And that's like throwing no shade to him because he's an awesome man that know a
I
lot,
feel that. I
and
feel
he
that.
and he move on action, but so do I, and my actions taking me this way. So why am I worried about that?
I feel that. I love like that. I love just like that. I swear I do. Do you love like that? Like you'll love somebody so much and you give them that love, but when they make you like they try to put that negative onto you, you'll remove yourself from the situation completely and not even think twice.
I can't let empathy drive me.
Yeah.
I have a lot of it, and I am a people pleaser. And if I forget that, then I'll end up completely neglecting everything I need to do. And like I said, I was running away from you earlier. I was running away from everybody because I just needed to be by myself working on things.
Yeah.
It's not mean. Boundaries are not mean. But yeah, I love really hard.
Yeah.
I love really hard. So
Is it quick for you to cut somebody off if you have to though? It's for me.
no, because I'm crazy. Because I
No.
want to know people, and then when I get to know them, sometimes I get oppressed feeling by them, and and I feel bad about saying anything. So yeah, maybe I do isolate because if I get close to people, it's
Kendall, what about
I
you?
don't know.
I would say sometimes it does get hard for trying to let go of certain people. If you need to let go and just move on, do so.
I feel that too. For me, it's not. I don't do it right away.
Yeah.
I wait for like things to happen. I wait for signs. I wait for like a little bit. I give you chances. I give you chances. But like SGF Graham says, when it comes to me doubting the universe or doubting myself and coming in a place that I grew from, that I've overcame already, you're not going to help me get back to that. I can't meet you back to where I'm not at no more. Either we're going this way or one of us is going the opposite way, quickness. And I'm okay with it. You don't gotta tell me twice ever. You don't wanna be in nothing I do, or you don't wanna. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh my god.
And that's how it feels with life because I try for so long and I put up with so much that I will never lose myself again. I work so hard to be where I'm at with this headspace and to really love me at this present moment and to really have that healthy boundary and appreciate me, that I will not, my peace is too important. I will not allow someone to get me there. I won't.
I agree. I changed my mind. I completely changed my mind. I've been cutting people off like dead limbs. A lot of them are from my past, though. So when forging new relationships with people or meeting new people, it's kind of really hard. But a lot of things from my past, I just hack it right off. I don't even care. And I'll provide you with an example. If it's killing my peace, I cut it off.
I like that.
It's motive driven. I really, if someone presents a bad motive to me, then I can't trust them. But if someone's motives are really good, whether they're kind of pushy or not, I put up with it because I think they're a good person. Maybe I don't know. I love people. I also get upset by them.
Hey, brother, Ty. So, listen, when you jump in, do you know that feeling though of having freedom from the darkness within you, from like the old ways? You know, that peace, that control over self, where you just love yourself. That feeling. What's that like to you, Ty Lewis, brother? So, I was saying how when you were first SGF Graham, when you first were, like, for me personally, when I first was doing the change, and when I first got to that point of learning myself and loving myself and starting over in new ways, new thoughts, everything, that that dark energy, that energy of depression, the energy of wanting to end the game and stuff, sat with me often, and it was warm and inviting, and the negative, like, is what I was so familiar with and comfortable in. When I found that strength to separate from the heaviness and to go to the positive, it felt light, it felt free, it felt like air, even though that other stuff was like fun. It wasn't of me, and it was too dark and too heavy, and I felt just ugh and stiff and all that stuff. You know what that feeling?
It didn't start feeling free for me until maybe like 3 years ago. Um, since I was like 9 years old, I've been on the journey of knowledge, like challenge preachers, challenge my mom, challenge everybody when it came to knowledge or whatever I just didn't agree with, or it was a hole to punch, or it was something, like, ever since 9 years old. So when I started my journey, I just, because I maybe went like maybe like 4 or 5 years, the last 4 or 5 years of the marriage, like that shit was hell. So I wasn't even searching knowledge no more. I was just wanting to get out this shit really or whatever. Like, when is this shit gonna get end or get better? Like, I was more on that. My mind was negative. So once I went back to finding myself, I just re-jumped back on my journey of knowledge, and that kept me busy from thinking about any negativity. It was like I gave my brain something else to to be engulfed in versus everything else going on, or what I might have would have felt like it was going on. And then by the time I got to where I felt comfortable in my journey, I subsequently got to where I needed to be. And that's just how it happened or whatever. And then I realized that I was free. Now, I might have been free the whole time, but my journey for knowledge just kept me so deep in the books and trying to figure out what's really going on that I didn't know I was until maybe like 3 years ago.
I feel that. I feel that. I for me, I had to get a hold of my addiction. I had to be able to change and deny myself stuff. I had to take stuff from me and go without. You know, I really had to cleanse myself from things and learn how to control things and deny myself of things. Henry, I have to use the restroom when we're done.
Right now.
Okay. I ate some watermelon earlier, and that stuff really makes you flush. it's like better water. It's the best water out there. I love it, and I have with seeds in it. I'm so happy. But anyhow, um, I was saying though that just that love for myself, I don't think anybody ever could replace that. Anything could ever give me that feeling of what, and I'm so proud of me. Like, I love me. And that self love feeling is beautiful, especially when it comes from a healthy place. When it comes from a place of not within my ego or pride. Do you know what I'm talking about, SGF Graham? SGF Graham, do you know what I'm talking about? No. Kendall, do you know what I'm talking about?
I would think so. It's refreshing for just having a different type of awakening for just knowing yourself better.
Think of something to talk about.
Oh, Miss Kimberly's going to the bathroom. So, you know what? Now I got to talk about something. What are we going to talk about? Mental health topics? You know what? I don't know. I just did a bunch of designer drugs in the bathroom. No. I like being with myself. What does solitude bring you if you can enjoy it? Danny! Oh. It's up to
How
me.
you guys doing tonight?
There he is. We're doing good. You just jumped in and saved it. Kimberly had to run for a second.
Peace.
And I was choking on her.
Great episode, guys. First off, great
So what's the
topic.
title to you?
Oh, here we go.
What's the title mean to you?
Well, when you free yourself from yourself, you know, we can all have a lot of transgressions and trials of stuff and negative things that become a part of us. Egos, just just things that's not so good. So to me, the name of the subject means to me is you got to free yourself in order to be free. So like if you free yourself from all those things that's just not that good, your mind and you can be free and you can live a better, more peaceful, relaxed life.
What was your moment where you realized that you had to take all that negative and turn it into positive? Where was that moment? How long ago was that for you?
Uh, every day, to be honest with you, every single day, I find myself battling to free myself from negative things. It's just a part. It's something that I I save it for a different time because I got a lot to say on it, and it's not, you know. But it's just a daily, continuous um, journey for me. So every single day, I don't think that we can say that we're free in a lot of different other ways, and we can be at peace of mind, but sometimes you have to completely heal and work through whatever you're going through to be able to be completely healed. So, you know, I'll be lying if I said that there was a certain time that I've had it when I know every single day that I struggle with it.
Proud of you for acknowledging that. I'm proud of you for acknowledging that. So what do you do to what's the positive? What's the positive side of that? Now that you are aware of it, what's the positive side of it? Well, how can you
Uh,
change that into to a positive?
Knowing that you got to put it in motion because at the end of the day, you either do it or you don't. It's the two choices you got. If you don't do it, it ain't gonna be no good outcome. You know, the best thing that I've ever been told one time in life, and it'll be surprising on who told me it. I was incarcerated, and the lieutenant he said every reaction has a consequence, and I was young, and once I started beginning the journey of learning cognitive skills and stuff, I realized that that's true. So you can have there are some, when we hear the word consequence, we think bad. Oh, snap, it's consequence. There are good consequences and the bad consequences. So that's one thing I tell me. You got to put it in motion and do it. And I think that help if you can chart or journey and look at your progress that you have um, done and accomplished. And that's and until you get to the point in life where you like, wow, you know, I really got better at this, or I conquered this.
It's
All the
like
great
record.
phases that we say when we win.
You said what?
All the great phases that we say, phrases that we say when we win.
Oh yeah.
Danny, I so agree with that because anytime I feel like I get better at like, I don't know, anything like guitar or anything like that, I relate life to video games a lot because they're such a huge escape for me. And I love saying that you leveled up, Henry. Like I leveled up. Like I love saying I leveled up because it implies that I like played the game hard enough to get better at it. And it's just a really good contextual way to make myself feel better and kind of jovially enjoy life.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
so what do you do? Do you, when you get like that, do you beat yourself up for it, over it, or do you give yourself grace?
Both. I have beat myself up for it. I've been trying to get myself grace lately, because it, to be at a better headspace, I really try to work on getting myself grace for it instead of battling.
What does doubt play? How does doubt play within yourself?
Because you don't know if you question, you begin to question once the load gets heavy, then you begin to question many different things, and doubt plays in there, whether it's something small, um, or whether it's something big, So I think that you just, it's kind of a cliche thing to me sometimes to just say, uh, just wake up every day and it gets better. Storm passes, which all those things are true. They do. At the end of the day, you find just different techniques and practice them. Say practice makes perfect, right?
So, do you feel that you, when you doubt your others, that you doubt yourself too? Do you feel that you are uncertain with you?
Yeah, certain times. But then that's always what we tell ourselves in life. The way to look at it, that's the problem within ourselves. And sometimes even though we look at an ego as this is I'm this, I'm up there or whatever, it can sometimes slightly be egotistical too in some sort of different ways. But,
Do you feel that it's hard to sit with yourself, be in yourself?
no, not when you know who you are. So I mean, it's been times where I haven't known, and sometimes that fork in the road as you traveling veer off, and you got to refine yourself. And that's the thing. That's the point of GPS. It helps us when we navigate, when we searching and looking for the directions. And sometimes we might hit that road exit and have to get right back on the path, on the right path.
Do you feel that I lost my train of thought? I apologize. Um, I really did lose my train of thought. Them were good answers, though. I get it.
Yeah, Danny, that's the most engaged I've heard you on the damn show. I know you're busy, but
No,
it feels like you had a lot to say on that. It's good.
So, what's the rewarding? How, I mean, loving yourself is great and stuff. What is the rewarding? What do you feel when the positive, when you can take that negative and turn to positive? How do you feel about you?
My favorite three combination words: PLH, peace, love, and happiness.
Do you
Those are
feel like
attractive.
peace, love, and happiness within yourself?
Yeah, when you get there and you work that, you get that peace, love, and happiness. Because you're gonna love yourself, you're gonna be peace of mind, and then even when you got those little obstacles on a daily basis, you still can see the good into them and see the happiness into them, and that's when you will turn that negative into a positive.
So we're gonna do your positive thing right now, but I have to ask you one more question real quick before we wrap it up. Unless you want to ask him something, but I have to say something to you. I want to ask you how important is the pause? Because that'll be what we're going to be talking about next. How important is the pause to you?
The pause, how important is the pause?
Yes.
Is really important because you got it. That's when you stop and you take a look at everything and you react based off of your thoughts at that time. And once you think about the positive,
Give us your positive quote so we can wrap this up with you.
um, be happy. Learn to not allow your ego to beat you, and or any of your triggers or traumas that you go through in life, and then that's once you're able to do that, you'll overcome anything.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing us to conversate with you, and thank you for coming on, husband. That was honest and that was transparent. That was beautiful.
Love you guys. Have a great rest of the show.
Love you.
Love you, Danny.
Peace, peace.
What do you think, Henry? Can you see where he feels? Can you feel how he feels?
Yeah, I can. I think he's actively thinking about it, right? Well, I think we all just get really wrapped up in the things we're doing, and we kind of forget to practice what we preach sometimes. And that's not really aimed at Danny. It's just it's aimed at everybody. That's that power in the pause, the time we take to reflect on ourselves and how we're integrating with others and how we're doing in our own performance. It's totally okay. We don't have to strive for perfection. That's why I laughed at him when you said practice makes perfect. But it's good to just give yourselves progress reports. And I think when we forget to do that, we realize we'd let go and quit doing the things that we held dear.
I feel that. I like that. What do you think, SGF Graham? SGF Graham.
He's mute.
I know.
Oh my. We hope SGF's okay. You got things going on.
Kendall, what do you think? Give me your positive quote or a positive message.
Positive. There's definitely no such thing as perfection. You just do the best you can.
Okay. SGF Graham, are you with me? For some reason, every time I say that, it makes me think of a whole song. SGF Graham, are you with me? Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo. No?
It could be topping the charts this
Talking about Kurt Franklin? Like, no.
Kurt Franklin. Why do you know Kurt Franklin? Henry had no clue who I was talking about. That's so funny.
I shouldn't have no clue.
I know. Ew, that's funny.
Yeah, it's based on that one. We're not obliged to know everything.
So tell me about give me a positive message. And our next subject is power in the pause.
What do you want me to do about the power of the pause, though? Oh, you was just telling me it was the next subject.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
For tonight, for our next podcast.
Okay, cool. My positive.
Yeah.
One day at a time. That's it. You know, I'm always short with it. One day at a time. Take it one day at a time.
You can't go wrong there.
Go ahead, Henry.
Oh, I thought I said a positive.
Did you?
I can always say something positive. Learn to love yourself. I'll answer my question from here. Let your solitude not drive you crazy, but produce creativity, because that's what it's designed to do.
I love that. Find joy sitting within yourself. I love that. I guess that's my positive quote. It's finding joy while sitting in with yourself, because I'm telling you, it feels good to have control over you. It does. It feels so amazing to have that self-control. And you got to give yourself grace, though, for real. And talking about it is a step to doing better. Seriously. It's when you bottle it up. But there is power in pause. So stay tuned. That'll be our next Tuesday show, Power in the Pause. Alrighty then, may your night be full of positive energy and high vibrations. And thank you for allowing us into your home, your hearts, and your minds.
We're Unseen Twisted Truths.
We are Unseen Twisted Truths, the People's Podcast.
We're doing the back-to-back hip-hop
where your opinion matters with the ears that listen. We're going to end this. Where's my thing?
We sit awkward with this song.
Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is, where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. When them tries to kill you, but with faith you recover. Yeah, peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up, execute goals regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the Jews like taught you. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah, aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing. And watch it all rise, the righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring. Because it's unseen, the mind is too barren. They won't even heal it, they pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Life that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation rather want it, you need it. Could fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation rather want it, you need it. Could fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Hey. Yeah. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental how clean as a whistle. Attention's a trap, they can lead you astray. Sneering this shit through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt of disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. Who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen.
It's on you, tell the truth.